So A24 is back with another art house film, but this time for kids, I think. The Legend of Ochi is written and directed by Isaiah Saxon, who is an up-and-coming filmmaker who's coming up from the world of music videos. This is his first feature film, and it is pretty ambitious. The film stars Helena Zengel as Yuri, a teen girl whose very eccentric father, played by the king of eccentric characters himself, Willem Dafoe, is on the hunt for a mythical creature called Ochi. As Ahab was obsessed and out for revenge in Moby Dick, so is Dafoe's character Maxim. In a full set of armor, he takes the village's young boys on to hunt and kill the Ochi, claiming that the Ochi killed his wife. His daughter Yuri, who listens to death metal and is rebellious against her father and resents him for the loss of her mother, and his crazy obsession with killing the Ochi, just wants to run away. One night when her father orders her to check the Ochi traps around the forest, she finds a baby Ochi and decides to help the wounded creature and return it home to its mother. Now, I'm going to start with the good stuff here, because there is honestly a lot of really great filmmaking here, but there are a few things that really sort of taint this film, which is such a shame because, again, a lot of great things. First off, this is a beautifully shot film, shot in Romania, set on a fictional island in Carpathia. Its backdrop for the film is just gorgeous. Beautiful snowy mountainsides and rustic old Romanian villages. Interesting architecture of a wild-looking church with the camera pushing through these trees in the foreground. There's a great shot of a spear being thrown into a tree, and the way that it's shot was very Wes Anderson-like. There's even a crash zoom or two in the film. When we first see the baby Ochi in a hollowed-out tree, the camera and the special effects work together in a great way to create the illusion that your eyes do to adjust to seeing something for the first time that you're not quite sure if you're seeing it or not. There's some beautiful set design in this film that, shot with the perfect composition, is very satisfying and almost fairy tale-like. There's a grocery store sequence where the set design of the store feels very almost comic book-like and beautiful. The store is very clean and crisp with very bright colors compared to the grittiness of the rest of the film. It's probably one of my favorite scenes of the film just because the set design, combined with the story, heightens the fun of the scene. Helena Zengel is fantastic in the film. She's primarily a German film actress, this being her second American released movie, I believe, after the Netflix film News of the World, also starring Tom Hanks. I actually hope that we see her in more American films because she was so much fun to watch. She feels like she believes in this film and in this mythical creature as her character, and there isn't any flaws in her performance at all. She's so solid. Willem Dafoe is, Willem Dafoe, another Willem Dafoe character. Again, an eccentric screaming man and a wife beater that we've seen in like Robert Eggers or Yorgos Lanthimos films. But those directors really utilized Dafoe instead of letting Dafoe act as any other Dafoe character. But of course, I enjoyed him in this role. He wasn't phoning it in. It just wasn't a stretch for him to play this part. The thing that really impressed me about this film, though, was the practical effects of the Ochi puppet. I love that they used a puppet instead of doing all CGI. Thank you. And the puppeteers made Ochi feel very, very real. That was such an important piece of the film that gives Ochi a very real feel to him or her, making you care about him or her. I'm not quite sure which one he or she is. It gives you more of a realistic feeling than a CGI character actually would. There is some CGI combined with the puppet, and the full on-out CGI on the other Ochi is pretty bad, but it's not horrible. But the movement of the Ochi puppet was, in my opinion, perfect, giving real heart to the film, making you care about this creature. Now let's get to the things that I felt really tanked the film. First, the script. The writing was just all over the place. There were so many plot holes in this film. There are setups that aren't explored or allowed to expand on. The Carpathia setting and being shot in Romania gives the film a sort of Dracula vibe, giving the film a setting for these mythical creatures that eventually don't seem very fantastic in the end. So what was the point of being in that area and shooting in Romania? The Ochi creature pretty much feels like a combination of Gizmo and an orangutan with maybe a little Grogu thrown in. The whole film actually felt like a ripoff of E.T. The beginning of the film with the flashlights in the forest at night, searching for the creature. A kid who finds the creature, makes friends with it, sort of becoming intertwined with it mentally. The kid leaves home into the woods to find the creature's way back home. The kid's being raised by a single parent with an older brother. There's a scene that I swear is taken right from E.T.'s movie poster or the movie of the two fingers touching. And they do this twice in the same film. It's so weird, in the same composition. There's a whole scene where they learn to communicate with each other, and the way that they do it is so lazy. Like, they didn't have time to do it the way they wanted to, so they found the most generic way to have them learn how to communicate with each other. The film felt like an old 80s film too, or maybe 90s. The clothes, the CDs that Yuri has, the cars, the font on the credits with that soft yellow glow, that's kind of more 70s though. The plot holes are what really bothered me though. Maxim claims that he's hunting the Ochi because one of them killed his wife, but then we find out that wasn't true, and Yuri actually runs into her mom, Dasha, played by Emily Watson, while trying to return Ochi home. So then you're wondering, so why is Maxim trying to hunt down and kill the Ochi? They don't really come back to that. And in fact, Maxim lies to his daughter about other things, and you're thinking, so why was that necessary? Dasha, the mom, also has what I feel like are missing scenes that explain a lot more about her character and her connection with the Ochi that really wasn't explained completely. There were caterpillars in the film that represented something, but I didn't understand what, and those kept coming up. There wasn't any explanation at all about these caterpillars. There were a lot of scenes that felt cut down or maybe just edited really poorly, and it makes me wonder if the script was more complicated and the people at A24 made the director get rid of a lot of his film because it's supposed to be a kid's film, because it teeters on the edge of the question, is it a kid's film or is it a film for adults who are craving an E.T. type story to feed their nostalgia? The movie is very art house-like, and I don't know if kids will actually get it. It's very gritty and very adult at times, and it doesn't seem like it would be a fun film for kids. Maybe for kids who aren't allowed to watch TV and read Dickens novels at the age of 7 and only eat organic, whose parents shop at Whole Foods and give to PBS and the rainforest. Come to think of it, this film was released the week of Earth Day. There's got to be a better unfinished cut of this film. I'm convinced of it. There's got to be. Finn Wolfhard is in this film and really doesn't do anything or has any significant lines. So if they're going to waste money on this really talented actor, there's got to be more film on the cutting room floor somewhere of his performance. There's a setup by the mom who says something about when the Ochi sing together, which is basically how they communicate through emotion and song, that when this happens, it's the most magical, life-changing event you could ever imagine. In a way that Bill and Ted Saves the World playing their music does, I guess, and brings the world together. But when it happens, I was like, that's it. That's what we've been waiting for the whole time. Super lame. The Legend of Ochi is a beautifully shot film with a very impressive performance from Zengler, and it has some incredible puppet work given to the Ochi, a sweet, believable presence that you actually care about. But the unoriginal story that has been told hundreds of times leaves the film very stale. The plot holes due to the editing or the lack of script work leaves you just confused and sort of feeling cheated at the end. It could have been a really impressive film, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this very talented filmmaker does next. I'm giving The Legend of Ochi 2.5 stars out of 5 for all these reasons. I really had high hopes for this film. It is worth a watch just for the beautiful imagery, but your kids, they might be a little bored. The film is rated PG for some violent content and some language. So listen, if you are one of the many A24 fanatics out there, I mean, I love A24. But if you are one of these people, I want to hear from you. I want to hear your take on this film. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like. Let me know your thoughts on A24's first attempt at a family-oriented film. Like and subscribe for more on my take of all the major new film theatrical releases. And thank you again for all of you who have subscribed already. Talk to me in the comments. I love talking to you guys. You're amazing. And as always, don't wait till it streams. Let's go to the theater and let's see it together.
Yuri, what is this? I'm taking him home.
Oh, here I go. It's coming for me through the trees. Oh, help me, someone, help me, please.
She's been kidnapped! Let's go!